Most men think compliments are the way to a woman's heart, but the truth is, they're saying all the wrong things. You're beautiful. I love your smile. You have amazing eyes. She's heard it all before. So many times, it barely registers anymore. It's like trying to unlock a steel door with a plastic key. But what if I told you there are certain compliments, the kind most men are too afraid to say, that don't just make a woman smile, they make her obsessed. Compliments that get under her skin in the best way. Compliments that trigger emotional chemistry, not just attention, but desire. They make her feel seen, but not fully understood. And that mystery? It's addictive. These are the kinds of words that stay in her mind hours after you've left, and when used right, you'll never have to chase another woman again. You're about to learn 3 forbidden compliments that flip the script. Compliments she's never heard and never forgets, so sit tight. This one's different. Look, we've all been there. You meet a woman, you want to make a strong impression, so you say something nice, something polite, something safe, but deep down, you feel it didn't land the way you hoped. She smiles, nods, maybe even says thank you, but then nothing. The spark's gone, and you're left wondering what went wrong. Here's the truth. Most compliments fail because they're forgettable. But the ones that work, the ones that make her crave you, those hit on a much deeper level. They're not about flattery. They're about triggering emotion, about creating tension, and about making her feel something she can't explain. These are compliments rooted in confidence, presence, and yes, believe it or not, Stoic control. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 compliments that most men never dare to use, but when you use them the right way, it flips everything. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked the video so you can help me continue spreading Stoic philosophy. If you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do so and activate the bell so you don't miss any future videos on Stoicism. Compliment number 1. There's something about you I can't quite figure out. Say that line to the right woman at the right moment and watch how her eyes lock in, because what you've just done is planted a seed of mystery. Most guys, they come straight out with predictable praise. You're gorgeous. You're so fun. You have such a nice smile. It's safe. It's polite. And it's instantly forgotten. But this line, it does something completely different. It shifts the entire dynamic. Why? Because it creates tension. The good kind. The kind that makes her feel something without fully understanding it. And when a woman feels something she can't explain, she keeps chasing the source. Think about that. You didn't even tell her what it is you like. You just told her there's something there, and now her mind is working overtime to figure it out. That's powerful. This taps into one of the deepest emotional desires, the desire to be seen as unique. Attractive women hear compliments all the time, but being truly seen, that's rare. This line works because it tells her, you stand out, but even I don't know why yet. And that sense of mystery, it's intoxicating. Let's talk about how to use this in real life. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a conversation, and she shares a random story, something personal, something a little quirky. You pause, just a moment, look at her like you're studying something, then drop it. There's something about you I can't quite figure out. Boom. Now she's hooked, or maybe you're on a date. The energy's good. She says something unexpected. You lean back, smile just slightly, and say, you're not like most people I meet. But I can't quite put my finger on why. You just flip the script. You've taken the spotlight off her appearance and placed it on her essence. You're telling her you're different without defining her. And that invites her to prove why. Even Marcus Aurelius understood this dynamic. He once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you offer this kind of compliment, you're not just admiring her, you're shaping the way she sees herself in that moment, and that's no small thing. Now, here's the key. Don't over-explain it. The moment she says, "What do you mean?" smile, shrug, say, "I don't know, I just can't place it." Because that lack of clarity, that open lupus, is what keeps her mind replaying the moment over and over. Most compliments end as a conversation. This one, it starts something. You've sparked curiosity, intrigue, emotional investment. You've put her in a position where she wants to be understood, and when a woman is trying to figure out what you see in her, she's emotionally invested in you. It's a subtle power shift. She's no longer evaluating you. She's analyzing herself through your eyes. And when you stay calm, confident, and composed, that's where Stoicism comes in. You're not chasing her validation. You're offering an observation and letting her chase yours. Now, this isn't a trick. It only works when it comes from a place of genuine curiosity. If you're not actually present, if you're not paying attention to the way she moves, speaks, or surprises you, it will sound rehearsed. But when you slow down and mean it, she'll feel it. Women are intuitive. They can sense when words are just tactics, so don't rush it. You can say this once in an entire conversation, and it'll echo louder than 10 flashy compliments. Also, don't say it while staring at her lips or checking her out. This is deeper than that. Say it in a moment of real connection, a moment where something about her feels off-pattern, a moment that makes you pause. Then say it softly, thoughtfully, with a bit of wonder in your voice. "There's something about you I can't quite figure out." Then leave it there. Let her sit with it. Let her want to understand what you see. Because the moment she starts wondering is the moment she starts remembering you. And that's the kind of compliment that lingers, not just in her ears, but in her mind. So many men want to impress women, but very few understand the power of letting her impress you, without even realizing she's trying. And that's when the game changes. This is how you attract her to without chasing. This is how you connect to without explaining. And this is how you flip the script from forgettable flattery to unforgettable presence. So try this, not on everyone, but when the moment's right, when the vibe is just slightly mysterious. Drop that line and then let it breathe, because in a world where most guys are too busy trying to be clever, your calm curiosity, that's magnetic. Tell me in the comments, have you ever said something to a woman that totally changed the vibe and didn't realize how powerful it was until later? Compliment number 2. I feel like there's a side of you most people never get to see. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but when you say it with presence, it hits harder than any compliment about her looks, because what you're doing is unlocking something deeper. Most guys, they stay on the surface. You're so beautiful. You have such good energy. I love your vibe. She's heard it over and over. But this line, it cuts through all of that, because it tells her in one sentence that you see beyond the performance, beyond the version of herself that the world is used to. You're noticing the layers, the part of her that's rarely acknowledged, and that makes her pause. She's not used to being seen that way, and when a woman feels like you've caught a glimpse of her real self, that's powerful. It speaks directly to something most people ignore, the fact that behind every attractive smile, behind every confident posture, there's a hidden world, a story, a scar, a side that doesn't come out often unless it feels safe. And when you say, "I feel like there's a side of you most people never get to see," you're creating that space, that permission. You're not just saying, "I like what I see." You're saying, "I notice what others miss." Let's talk about why this works on such a deep level. First, it makes her feel more than her appearance. Attractive women are constantly seen for how they look. Their outer presentation gets all the attention, but their inner world, often ignored. This compliment tells her, "I'm paying attention to what really matters." Second, it flips the dynamic. You're not seeking her approval. You're reflecting something deeper back to her. And third, it plants a seed. Now she's wondering, what does he see in me? And that subtle question, it opens her up to you. It makes her want to reveal more. That's the beginning of emotional intimacy. Let me give you a few real-life moments where this line lands beautifully. You're talking, and she shares a childhood memory, something playful or slightly vulnerable. You let it hang in the air for a second. Then you say, "You know, I feel like there's a side of you most people never get to see." Or maybe she lets her guard down, starts laughing in a way that's goofy and unfiltered. Instead of teasing her, you just smile, tilt your head and say, "I don't think people get to see this side of you often." Now, she feels seen, not judged, not labeled. Just noticed. That's rare. And women remember it. This is also a compliment that works in contrast. Say you're out with her and she's handling a social situation, charming, confident, in control. Then later, when you're alone, she says something thoughtful or sits quietly for a moment, something softer. That's your moment. You look at her and say, "This version of you, I don't think many people get to experience it." Suddenly, you're not just another guy trying to impress her. You're the one who actually gets her. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This line calms that inner voice in her head, the one that wonders if anyone truly sees her. When you say this, calmly, sincerely, you show her that you're paying attention not just to what she says, but to who she is, beneath it all. Now let's talk delivery. This only works when it's genuine. You can't force it. Don't use it just to sound deep. It has to come in a moment of real connection. When something about her feels unguarded, honest, unfiltered, and don't say it like you're fishing for a reaction. Say it like you're just observing something quietly powerful, and then don't explain it. If she asks, "What do you mean?" just smile a little. Shrug. Say, "I don't know, it's just a feeling." Then let it linger. That mystery, that sincerity, it's magnetic. This is the kind of compliment that invites her to open up more. Not because you're trying to manipulate her, but because she actually feels safe doing it. That's how real connection happens. Here's the beauty of it. Most men try to earn a woman's attention by being loud, flashy, overconfident. But the man who can say something quiet, real, and thoughtful, and say it like he doesn't need anything in return, that man stands out because he's grounded, calm, stoic. He doesn't need to be seen, but he chooses to see others. And that's rare energy. That's attractive. When you say this line, you're showing her something that very few people ever do. You're not interested in just the version of her that everyone else sees. You're interested in the side she doesn't always show, the private side, the real side. And that's what builds emotional attraction, not the surface level stuff. So next time you're with someone and you feel like she's letting her, guard down, say it, quietly, calmly. I feel like there's a side of you most people never get to see. Then stop talking, watch what happens. Compliment number 3, I can't decide if you're trouble or exactly what I need. Say that. And then watch her face, because suddenly the entire energy shifts. She goes from playful and flirty to hooked. Why? Because this one line wraps tension, curiosity, and flirtation all into one moment. It's not just a compliment, it's a challenge, a mystery, an emotional loop she'll feel compelled to close. See, most compliments put the woman on a pedestal. You're amazing. You're perfect. You're everything I've ever wanted. Nice? Sure. But those lines hand all the power over to her. You're the one chasing. You're the one trying to win her approval. But with this compliment, you flip the script. Suddenly, she's trying to figure out where she stands with you. You're not falling head over heels. You're intrigued, uncertain, drawn in but cautious. And that uncertainty, that edge, it's magnetic because women don't just want to be wanted. They want to feel exciting, unpredictable, like they're capable of shaking up your world. And this compliment gives her that exact feeling. It says, you're not safe, but maybe that's what I need right now. That tension, it sparks instant chemistry. Let's break down why this line works on such a deep psychological level. First, it taps into intrigue. You're showing interest but leaving room for mystery. You're saying, I see something in you, but I'm not sure if it's good or dangerous. That open loop makes her want to show you who she really is and prove you right. Second, it creates emotional tension. Tension is the key to attraction, not conflict, not chaos, but emotional charge. When something feels uncertain, it demands attention. And when you say this line with the right energy, you create that exact effect. Third, it gives her power, but also keeps her guessing. You're giving her that seductive sense of danger, while still maintaining emotional control. And that's where Stoicism shows up, because a Stoic man, he's composed, he's self-aware. He doesn't rush into feelings, but he's open to experiencing them. He's not seduced by appearances, but he appreciates the power of energy. Now let's talk delivery. This line doesn't work if it sounds like a pickup line. It works when it sounds real, like you're processing something she just said, like you're observing her. And a thought slips out. Here's a great moment to use it. You're in a conversation. She says something witty, bold, a little wild. You smirk, pause for a beat, then say, I can't decide if you're trouble or exactly what I need. Or maybe she surprises you, shares something deep, challenges your thinking, catches you off guard. You give her that sideways look, half grin, and you drop it. I feel like you're going to be dangerous for me. It's playful, but it's charged. She knows you're not saying it to flatter her. You're saying it because she got your attention in a real way. And here's the magic. This compliment makes her feel unforgettable. You're not just complimenting her personality or beauty. You're saying she's got the potential to affect you deeply, to shake things up, to leave a mark. That's powerful. Epictetus once said, we are disturbed not by things, but by the views which we take of them. This line invites her to see herself in a new light. You're not telling her who she is. You're letting her wonder about who she might be to you. And when a woman starts to imagine the impact she has on you, that's when emotional obsession begins. Because now you're in her mind. You've created a question she wants to answer. So how do you say it and mean it? Say it slow. Say it with a touch of curiosity, like you're genuinely unsure. And then, don't explain it right away. If she asks what you mean, let it hang. Say something like, I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm definitely curious. This keeps the dynamic playful, engaging, charged. It's not about being cocky. It's about being composed. It's about showing that you're not just reacting to her looks or charm, you're responding to her energy. And that is rare. So many guys try to be impressive, loud, dominant, but the man who can say something quietly confident, something emotionally loaded, and say it without flinching, that man is unforgettable because he doesn't give his attention away easily. He gives it to women who earn it, and when she feels like you're slowly discovering her, not just admiring her, she'll lean in, she'll reveal more, and that creates real intimacy. That's what this compliment unlocks. So next time, the vibe is fun, flirty, maybe even a little intense. Try it. I can't decide if you're a trouble or exactly what I need. Say it with a pause, a smirk, a calm curiosity. Then let her wonder, because in that moment, you've stopped chasing her approval. And now, she's chasing your attention. Most men try to win women over with compliments, but what they don't realize is that surface-level praise fades fast. It doesn't create connection. It doesn't make her feel seen, and it definitely doesn't make her think about you after you're gone. But the compliments you've just learned, they aren't really about words. They're about energy, timing, emotional presence. Because when you tell a woman there's something about her you can't figure out, when you notice a version of her that most people never get to see, when you admit she might be trouble, but she might also be exactly what you need, you're doing something most men never do. You're stepping into a space of emotional clarity, mixed with masculine restraint. That's where Stoicism lives. It's not about being cold or detached. It's about staying grounded, even when emotions are high. It's about seeing clearly, without letting your desires control you. And when you speak from that place, women can feel it. It's in your tone, your pace, your presence, and it makes you stand out, not just as a man, but as someone unforgettable. So take these compliments. Use them with intention, not to manipulate, but to express what most are too afraid to say. Use them when the moment calls for it, when it feels real, and watch what happens when you let authentic mystery speak louder than empty praise. This is how you connect without chasing, how you attract without performing, and how you lead with presence instead of pressure. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future insights on Stoicism and self-improvement. And remember, attraction doesn't begin with the perfect words. It begins with the version of you that doesn't need to prove anything. That's the energy women remember, and that's the energy you carry. When you live with self-control, presence, and a little bit of mystery,